Knowledge and its innovative application by every person affirmed with faith and confidence in self provides real opportunities to convert a life of poverty to one of opulence. It's a goal we can all achieve through a triad of desire, expectation, and preparation, individually and collectively, towards the greater good of a more prosperous Jamaica. Hi there, I'm Audrey Williams. Welcome to this Saturday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Coming up in our program, government providing a path to quality education, plus getting to know one of the biggest providers of development aid worldwide. Also, the JIS is sharing the love at Homestead Place of Safety. Please stay with us for those and more on the other side of the break.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
Quality education is a key component of the government's main social safety net platform, ensuring children are not left behind and can achieve the level of education and qualification to become successful as adults. This is a story of path, breaking the cycle of poverty.
We are proud of the fact that we have increased the provision to PATH beneficiaries by 15%.
This 15% increase allotted to expand the effectiveness of PATH will begin reaching beneficiaries in just another few months. Among those 330,000 recipients, children whose advancement through education is a priority for the Portia Simpson Miller administration.
My administration continues to make investments in people and social development, even as we pursue our necessary strategy of fiscal prudence and debt management.
Government's focus on human capital development for the 2014-2015 fiscal year recognizes that Jamaicans, including children, must be exposed to quality education if the nation is to see economic growth. This is why more of the allotment to the Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, is being dedicated to educate and equip our students. In April, PATH's total budget was increased to $5 billion, and $100 million of that amount will provide scholarships to 1,000 tertiary-level students. Another $170 million will provide transportation allowances for 20,000 PATH students in select rural schools.
This allowance and assistance will form part of a raft of initiatives designed to improve attendance at school among children on the PATH program. This allowance, therefore, in its impact, will help significantly disadvantaged children in rural Jamaica.
Another challenge facing many students from poor families is the payment of necessary school auxiliary fees. To ease the burden, government is increasing the current $11,500 annual supplement it offers to secondary students on the PATH program.
Consistent with this administration's philosophy to help the weakest, in the new academic year, the Ministry of Education will provide to schools for each of their PATH beneficiaries, each of the beneficiaries that are on PATH in high school, all 82,181 of them, an additional $2,000 per student towards their auxiliary fees. They can hold up their head.
It also relieves many parents of what for them is a great burden.
PATH beneficiaries at other levels of the system will continue to receive free lunch 3 days a week. This will cost us $2.4 billion.
This is being continued to ensure that our students, particularly those who cannot afford it, receive proper nutrition. But as government is operating in a tight fiscal space, parents are asked to contribute between $45 and $60 a day to the meal cost for the other 2 days. PATH students at the early childhood level, meanwhile, are among the groups set to also receive free breakfast this September under the expanded breakfast program.
We have allocated $1.05 billion out of our allocation to this budget. And we will use a combination of Nutrition Products Limited produced meals as well as foods provided at the local school level where that is appropriate and possible.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Jamaican bananas have returned to the United Kingdom 6 years after exports to that and other European markets ceased. Now Jamaica is pushing to further penetrate the European Union markets, but how much do we know about this huge trading bloc and the world's largest provider of development aid worldwide? Let's find out more as we get the facts on the EU.
The European Union, commonly referred to as the EU, is a unique economic and political partnership between 28 European countries. With over 500 million inhabitants, these countries cover much of the continent of Europe. French Foreign Minister Robert Schuman is credited with first putting forward the ideas behind the European Union on May 9, 1950. The partnership began in the aftermath of the Second World War, when in 1958 the European Economic Council (EEC) was formed, initially between 6 countries, to foster economic cooperation and reduce armed conflict. The EEC eventually morphed into a huge single market and continued to develop. What began as a purely economic union further evolved into an organization spanning policy areas from development aid to environment. And to reflect this, the name was changed from the European Economic Council to the European Union in 1993. Individual national parliaments remain and work in cooperation with the directly elected European Parliament. The Union is based on the rule of law, and everything it does is founded on treaties that are voluntarily and democratically agreed on by all member countries. Human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect for human rights are core values of the EU. Over the last 50 years, the Union has delivered peace, stability, and prosperity, which have raised living standards for Europeans. The single internal market of the EU is the main economic engine, enabling most goods, services, money, and people to move freely throughout much of the continent. There is a common monetary policy, and the euro is the common currency. The EU is recognizable by several symbols. The most well-known is its flag. There is also an anthem with a melody chosen from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. The European Union's motto is United in Diversity. obtains revenue not only from contributions from member countries, but also from import duties on products originating outside the EU, as well as a percentage of the value-added tax levied by each country. The EU budget pays for a vast array of activities, from rural development and environmental protection to protection of external borders and promotion of human rights. The Commission, Council and Parliament all have a say in how big the budget is and how it is allocated. But the Commission and EU countries are responsible for the actual spending. The European Union is not only a key political and trade partner for Jamaica, but through its external cooperation programs is also the country's largest grant partner for development. The European Commission, the official delegation of the EU, established its delegation in Jamaica in April 1976 after the first of the Lomé Conventions was signed. The Lomé Conventions is among a number of legal documents of which Jamaica is a signatory and forms the basis for Jamaica's collaboration with the EU. There is also the African, Caribbean, Pacific ACP-EU Partnership Agreement signed in Western Africa on June 23, 2000. The CARIFORUM EU Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA) was signed on October 15, 2008, and there is also the Paris Declaration. Heads of state and government of the EU and the Latin America and the Caribbean countries, including Jamaica, get together biannually for the EU, Latin America and the Caribbean LAC summits. The EU interventions in Jamaica have been increasing. There is country ownership and the accountability for the programs that are jointly designed by the EU delegation and the government. And these are submitted for approval to the relevant European institutions in the form of annual action programs. And in recent times, there has been a progressive shift from project approach to budget support.
Can you spare some time to help others?
How about 67 minutes? This July 18, join the global movement to give service to others. Volunteer your time to literacy, shelter, and food security efforts in your community. Let's honor the 67 years of service world leader Nelson Mandela gave us.
None of us acting alone can achieve success. We must therefore act together as a united people for national reconciliation, for nation building, for the birth of a new world.
Remember, we can change the world and make it a better place. The choice is in your hands, so volunteer today.
True to the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. The JIS has taken on the mantle of caring for some vulnerable young people with potential for bright futures and amazing achievements. Come with us on this visit to the hills of St. Andrew, where there was an outpouring of love, kind words, and good deeds.
Children need to feel safe and happy and depend on adults to provide the environment for them to achieve that. The Jamaica Information Service, the JIS, is doing its part, recently feting the girls at the Homestead Place of Safety. It was the agency's outreach project for Child Month, and the buzzword was mentorship. Through fun, engaging activities, the Homestead girls were given an opportunity to look beyond their challenges and dream of a bright and fulfilling future.
What we hope to do with these young ladies is to get them to understand that it doesn't matter where you're coming from or where you're at right now, but the future can be very bright if you apply yourself and if you have the confidence.
The day's program was empowering and educational.
I believe that the more we motivate, the more we encourage, the more we support these young ladies, it's more likely that they will achieve the goals that they set out to do.
To assist, the JIS invited Jamaica's first supermodel, Althea Lane, to come on board. Sponsorship also came from corporate Jamaica, among them H.D. Hopwood, Jung Supermarket, NMH, GlaxoSmithKline, Libresse, Jamaica Biscuit Company, Everybody's Pharmacy and Deli, M&D Marketing and Distributions Company, and Island Grill.
We're very grateful for the assistance that they have provided, and we're hoping that this will be the beginning of a very fruitful relationship between us and these sponsors.
It all got off the ground early Saturday morning on May 31, 2014, with the girls and JIS team having devotion. Then a picnic-style breakfast on the lawns of the facility located in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. Oh yeah, there was good food, lots of it, courtesy of the sponsors, and enough for the over 40 girls of the state-run residential care facility. In the vibrant sessions on life skills and motivational talks, the island's first supermodel imparted lessons on social etiquette, social grace, grooming, and self-confidence. The Essence cover girl and her team also gave the girls a demonstration in walking and sitting techniques, along with proper makeup application tips.
I told them that pretty much everybody is important and everybody is able to be successful, and in spite of their circumstances, as long as they believe in themselves, they will achieve whatever it is that they want. I've had my own trials, tribulations, struggles, but just believing in myself has kept me alive and able to move forward, to do and to become the person that I know God created me to be. Thanks to GIS for giving me this opportunity and all the sponsors who were involved today.
Similar sentiments came from the Director of Children and Family Program at the Child Development Agency, Audrey Budai.
It really is a family situation where we were able to deal with the children on a one-to-one basis, two-to-two basis. People are just walking around. You can see the calmness, you can see the joy, you can see the excitement in some of the kids' eyes. And we really appreciate the work of GIS.
The girls were satisfied and grateful for the special attention, boasting that the motivational speeches were unforgettable. Staff and the willing sponsors were no less satisfied to be part of a good deed.
Very good job. Continue. They are really receptive to it because it lets them know that being themselves is wonderful, and being graceful and to respect authority, they understand how to do so.
Being at the homestead today is very good because you let the girls know that you really do care about them.
Our company have always known that giving back to the community is always the best thing to go, or best way to go.
The trip was concluded with presentations of gifts. The JIS at Homestead, sharing the love by continuing to inspire, motivate, and develop Jamaica's youth.
On the board this week, July 13 to 19 is Nurses Week. The week is being celebrated under the theme, A Force for Change, a vital resource for health. Activities to mark the week will include an ecumenical church service on Sunday, July 13 at the Holiness Born Again Church of Jesus Christ at 5 Barclay Street in Westmoreland. There will also be an annual summer school at the New Kingston Conference Center, 2nd floor, 30 Dominica Drive, starting at 8 a.m. on July 15 and 16. On July 19, the Founders Day and the Nurse and Nursing Student of the Year Award ceremony will be held at the Jamaica Pegasus in Kingston, starting at 10 a.m. Clonmel St. Mary's Miss Community Teen Star Pageant will be held at the Marymount High School on Thursday, July 31. Starting time is 7 p.m. Come and enjoy good music and entertaining performances by local artists. Proceeds in aid of erecting a bus shelter in Clonmel. Send us your events for broadcast on the GIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868-022 or send an email to cbishop@gis.gov.jm.
The countdown to Festival 2004 is ticking, with a number of events leading up to the big event in August. Here is a list of activities that you can attend.
It's festival time again. Dust off your bandana outfit them and start waving the black, green and gold. because from country to town, the excitement will explode with a month-long schedule of activities celebrating This is Jamaica, My Jamaica.
We're going to be having the national finals in some of our big competitions that every Jamaican looks forward to each year. We start on the 19th with the coronation of the Miss Jamaica Festival Queen competition. And this is where 13 parish contestants are going to be vying for the coveted crown of Miss Jamaica Festival Queen 2014. Following on the Sunday the 20th, we're going to be having the national finals in the big stage competition. Tuesday, July 22, we're going to be having the awards ceremony for the creative writing competition, where we'll be recognizing those persons who would have earned medals and trophies, etc. in the creative writing competition. This is followed on the 26th by the staging of the festival song finals. Last year, if you recall, we had a competition among existing songs. So this year we are back on track and we are having new entrants this year. And on the 27th, we will be having the National Gospel Song Finals, when we will be selecting from the top 10 the gospel song for this year. The Emancipation celebration kicks off on July 31 with the staging of the Emancipation Jubilee down there in Seville at the Great House in St. Anne's Bay. We're also going to be having on the same night, right across the island, Emancipation Vigils in every town square, where everybody is invited to come out for song and praise and worship, and then with the blowing of their bang at midnight and the reading of a proclamation. We follow this on the following day, which is August 1, with the celebration of drums, where right across Jamaica we are going to be moving to the rhythm of our ancestors in all the parishes. And then we culminate that night at the Randy Williams Entertainment Center with the ever-popular family entertainment Mellow-Go-Round. And this year it promises to be better than ever. On the 2nd, we're encouraging all Jamaicans to make this a family day. This is when we encourage families to go out and enjoy themselves at all the various scenic locations right across our island, celebrating our culture, celebrating our heritage. And that night, speaking about heritage, on that same night we're going to be having at the Randy Williams Entertainment Center International Ska Festival. And you'll hear more about that shortly. And then on the 3rd, we have what we call the Dutchy Food Festival. Now, this is one that is going to be finger-licking. We're talking about all the local Jamaican cuisine. Talk about turn your hand, make fashion. This is where you need to come and see, where we're going to be having on show, particularly our young people, drawn from many of the institutions that are, responsible for the preparation of foods and so on the lawns of the Randy Williams Entertainment Center is going to be transformed into a huge restaurant. We're going to be having live cooking demonstration, Mr. Basket, you name it. And then on the 4th, World Reggae Dance Championship. This is one of the fastest growing and most popular of the events on the JCDC's calendar. And of course, August 6th, we bring the curtains down with the grand gala in the National Stadium. And this year it is going to be the gala of galas. All our events, I'm proud to say, are rated G. It's for the entire family. And in addition to the various activities that are going to be staged at the national level in Kingston, we are proud to say that right across the island, through our island-wide network of voluntary parish committees and our staff on the ground, we'll ensure that in every nook and cranny of Jamaica, there is somewhere to go, something to do, something to celebrate.
The Institute of Jamaica is also hosting a weekly discussion, Signature Conversations. It started last Sunday, but if you missed it, Signature Conversations continue on the 20th and a couple Sundays after. So enjoy your Sunday dinner and then head on down to the Institute to hear from Jamaica's cultural buffs on the journey of our country. This is Jamaica, My Jamaica, Festival 2014. For more on the schedule of activities, click on jcdc.gov.jm.
Electricity Sector Enterprise Team ESET to manage the procurement and project implementation for new generation capacity. That and other top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. It was announced this week that Cabinet, through the Electricity Sector Enterprise Team ESET, now has the authority to manage the procurement and project implementation for new generation capacity on the island, including the 360 megawatt project. While closing the sectoral debate Tuesday, Energy Minister Philip Paulwell said Cabinet's new powers were made possible after government amended the license granted to the Jamaica Public Service Company on Monday.
It will also grant the JPSCO a right of first refusal in relation to the replacement of any of its existing generation facilities. The amendments and related matters are pertinent to the critical and urgent issue of the procurement of the new base load generation capacity. It removes constraints that we all acknowledge on the ability of ESET to proceed with its mandate.
He reminded that ESET was established to have oversight of the 360 megawatt project once EWI's license was revoked on July 21. Minister Paulwell also updated Parliament on plans for the Caribbean Cement Company Limited (CCCL) to expand the volume of clinker it ships to Venezuela under the Petrocaribe Trade Compensation Mechanism. That mechanism allows the Jamaican government to use the trade arrangement to offset its debt obligations for the oil received under the Petrocaribe Energy Accord. Building on an earlier deal for the shipment of $8.5 million worth of clinker, CCCL is now preparing to ship an additional $20.5 million of clinker to Venezuela.
Apart from cement, that country's economy has real and potential demand for a wide range of products that our manufacturers and producers can satisfy.
In other trade-related news, Information Minister Senator Sandra Faulkner asserted this week that Cabinet was not aware of a U.S.-imposed arms embargo on Jamaica. At this week's Jamaica House media briefing, she also refuted claims that government was withholding information surrounding the resignation of Police Commissioner Owen Ellington and said the administration was committed to transparency.
Our government certainly has nothing to hide. If there are issues, there are processes, there are procedures, we have bilateral arrangements, and I believe at the appropriate time, if there was in fact such an action taken, the Cabinet of Jamaica will be briefed and the government of Jamaica will make public whatever those are.
Government made a critical step towards allowing persons charged with possession of or smoking small quantities of ganja to have their criminal records expunged or cleared when the Senate passed the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Amendment Act 2014. Justice Minister Mark Golding said the amendment did not provide for automatic expungement.
It establishes a Criminal Records Rehabilitation Board which reviews all applications for expungement, and expungement is discretionary, it is not as of right.
Persons will be able to apply to that board without waiting for an expiration period relating to their sentence. The Agriculture Ministry has signed 4 of 5 contracts valid at over $500 million to facilitate infrastructure works at the Spring Plain Ebony Park, New Forest Duff House, and Yallas Agro Parks over the next 12 months. The projects are being carried out under the Ministry's Agricultural Competitiveness Program, which is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB. The work involves the construction of stormwater channels and access roads, the installation of irrigation pipes and fittings, and construction of a packaging facility.
Our work in the agri-parks is not just about the provision of infrastructure, it is about increasing agricultural production and marketing.
And finally, the Office of Utilities Regulation, the OUR, is holding meetings with stakeholders to discuss the decision by Digicel and Lime to block applications that allow users to make free phone calls over the internet. Technology State Minister Julian Robinson says the company's decision is actually permissible under the Telecommunications Act.
It's a broader issue of how other persons will have access to a network, what price they will pay for the data, the speed of the data, etc. And those are the discussions that the OUR has actually begun.
He is urging persons and entities with concerns and positions on the matter to make submissions to the OUR. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
And this is where we say thank you for watching our Jamaica Magazine for today. It was good sharing this half hour with you. Join us again tomorrow for more. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JIS News. And our website, jis.gov.jm, remains a constant portal for the very latest government information. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Audrey Williams. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.